we are going to get started. We are going to hear from the lovely Kenzie, our product marketing manager, and we're going to hear from all of our product team as well, talking about the various new features that we've got going on in Typeform right now. So if everybody's sitting comfortably, we're going to get ready with some very cool new features, and I'm going to multitask, talk to you and press play. So here we go then. Let's hear from Kenzie and the product team on the spring product release.
In 2025, your ability to take action on data instantly and intelligently is what's going to set your brand apart. That's why we're evolving Typeform into more than just your form building tool. We are becoming your workflow engine for modern businesses just like yours, powering all the critical interactions across your lead gen strategy, onboarding, hiring, feedback, research, you name it, we're here to support you with it. Hi everybody, I'm Kenzie from the product marketing team, and I'm so excited to walk you through our spring 2025 product release. This release is all about helping you work faster. We want you to be able to automate smarter, and we're going to be unlocking even more value from every customer or employee touch point, starting with every branded interactive experience that you've created in Typeform. We're going to show you some smarter ways to build, richer ways to engage, and of course, easier ways to take action on that data. Plus, we have a few sneak peeks at what's coming next, so make sure that you stick around. We have product experts on the line that are going to be answering your questions live in chat. So if you think of something, drop it in as we go, but we're also going to wrap up with a live Q&A. So if you want to save your questions till then, you can do so. If you need to drop early, don't worry, we are going to be sending out a recording to you by tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And with that, let's get into it. Let's get started at the beginning of your workflow, form creation. As you know, Typeform has always been known for helping businesses create those interactive experiences, but this release is going to take that even further. We have added some new creation modes and improved the building blocks that you rely on most so that you can move faster without sacrificing design or performance. The first feature that we're excited to share is the new knowledge quiz mode. Now, this isn't just a fun quiz builder, although I have to say it's pretty fun to build and even more fun to take, but it's really a smarter way for you to qualify leads. You can train customers or employees, and it's about creating really dynamic interactive experiences. With this quiz mode, you can provide real-time feedback and scoring. So this is going to turn your static forms into an actual learning tool that's going to capture attention and surface insights in real time. You can use it to onboard, educate, or assess, all while making that experience feel fun and frictionless. Let's take a look at how to build a knowledge quiz, and we're going to show you some creative ways that our customers are already using it.
Hello everyone, I'm Paul, Product Manager at Typeform, and I'm excited to introduce the knowledge quiz mode. Until now, creating a quiz to engage and assess the knowledge of your audience was very complex, and showing immediate feedback to respondents wasn't possible. All that changes with the knowledge quiz mode. But why should you care about creating knowledge quizzes? Of course, you can use them to assess if students or employees learn key concepts after the onboarding or a training. But it's much more than this. For instance, as a marketer, you can flip the same quiz into a gamified hook that pulls prospects in. And the result? Well, more engagement and more sales. Plus, while they're having fun, you are quietly mapping expertise and purchase readiness. What a win-win. The good news is that we're making quiz fun, effortless to set up for you, and designed to keep respondents engaged with instant feedback and dynamic scoring. Let me show you how it works. Cool, so I'm in my Typeform account, and let's imagine that we're marketing a skier shop with a strong online presence, and that we want to boost engagement on social media, and we're launching a skiing knowledge quiz. Participants will test their skills, and upon completion, they will receive a 10% discount coupon for their next purchase. This way, we increase engagement, and we get more sales. So here I prepared the welcome screen and 5 questions to test their knowledge. How do I convert this into a knowledge quiz? Well, very easy. I go to the form mode dropdown here at the top left corner, and I select the knowledge quiz mode. I will be immediately prompted to set the correct answers. So upon doing that, this model pops up, And in this page, we need to select what options constitute a correct answer. In my case, each question has only one option that is correct. So I will go and select the correct answers here. Something that we want to call out is that you can actually customize the weight of each score, right? So how many points, what's the score that is added if this question is answered correctly, you can customize it here. So for instance, what I will do is, since the last question is very complex, we will treat it as a bonus. So we will give a weight of 5 points instead of 1. After doing this, it's as easy as saving. And then the next step is only customizing the ending screen. You can see that by default, we're adding an ending screen that is able to recall the key stats from the quiz to show to the respondent, but you are free to customize this. So for instance, first thing I will do is change the CTA to Shop Now. We will redirect them to our e-commerce store. I will keep the social media icons in case that the respondent wants to increase the virality of the quiz and share in their social media platforms. And what I will do is customize the description. I don't think that they need so much information in this case. I will just inform them about what's the coupon, the code that they need to use to get the 10% off, okay? After this, it's as easy as clicking share. And boom, it's done. Super fast. It just took 1 minute after the questions were ready. Let's have a look at the respondent experience. So the form will load as usual. Let's start the quiz and let's answer the first question correctly. As you can see, we're showing immediate feedback in line from the exact same question. Let's continue. Let's answer incorrectly. As you can see, we also have another message for the incorrect answer. And actually, you can see how we are telling to the user what the actual correct answer was. This way, they can learn on the go. Good news also is that you can customize this message, okay? And you can choose to show the correct answers or not. You can keep them secret if you prefer. I will answer randomly, okay? And I'll try to get the bonus one correct. So I can submit and I see the ending score and I can very easily copy paste the coupon and shop immediately. Something else that you can do is have different endings depending on the score. This is as easy as going back to content, adding a new ending screen and customizing this one for, let's say, those who score higher, and then customize this other one for those who score lower. Then you select the ranges for each of the endings and you publish the edits. So we hope that you enjoy this feature. Your feedback is very welcome and we can wait to see what you create with it. Thanks.
Next up is a big upgrade to one of our customers' favorite building tools, multi-question pages. Now you can group questions on one screen using even more blocks like long text, MPS, ranking, opinion scale, and more exciting, you can layer in logic scoring and branching to personalize that full experience. You're going to want to use multi-question pages to qualify leads more efficiently. Grouping all these questions into one page is really going to help to reduce drop off in those longer forms, and it's going to help you to collect cleaner, more structured insights. Now let's walk through how to structure one of these pages and show you how you can get higher conversions and smoother data collection.
Hi everyone, I'm Adam, a product manager here at Typeform. Today, I'm excited to walk you through a fantastic quality of life update that we've made for multi-question page. The ability to use all logic features for any multi-question page questions. So, until now, conditional logic hasn't actually been compatible with specific questions that have been grouped on a single page. With this release, we've ensured that any logic that you would want to apply to your form pages can be. This feature lets you create smarter and more flexible experiences for your respondents by routing them to specific questions based on how they've answered individual questions within your pages. This ensures that multi-question page enjoys the same level of logic functions as a single question would on its own page. Now, let's take a look at what this looks like. So this is a form for a B2C dog walking business. They've created this form here in order to generate leads, and it includes fields for contact information like name, phone number, and email address. But it also allows respondents to specify how they prefer to be contacted, which is most important for the sake of this example. So I've gone ahead and already created a rule on this drop-down question so that any respondents that have selected a face-to-face call are routed to the Calendly question after this form page that you see here. So as you can see, we set up this logic question so that if your preferred contact method is that you'd like to schedule a face-to-face call, then you'll be routed to the Calendly question. Now, when we're setting up this question, all of the questions that are included within your multi-question page are located here under the questions section, just as you'd expect if you were working with single questions on single pages. So with this update, multi-question page now has all the logic capabilities that you'll need to create your forms the way that you want to create them. And in addition to this, we've been doing a little bit of extra work to actually make sure that multi-question page is even more valuable. So throughout 2025, we've been making every question type compatible with multi-question page slowly but surely. At the beginning of the year, we released compatibility with multi-question page for the ranking question, opinion scale, NPS scale, statement, and long text. Now, next on our to-do list are the number, website, and date questions. And a little bit later in the year, we'll be tackling some more complicated blocks like the payment and file upload questions. But our goal is by the end of 2025 that every question type that makes sense to be put in a multi-question page can be. So that's it for me. I hope everyone gets a chance to experiment with multi-question page. And as always, let us know your feedback.
Now let's talk about consent collection. This is something that should be really simple, but in the past has required a few clunky workarounds, but I promise you that's done because we have introduced a new checkbox block. So this is going to be a single standalone checkbox that's going to make it easy to capture opt-in for things like your email marketing, terms and conditions, or sharing out your privacy policies. You can now fully customize that copy. You can link out to your legal docs, and it can even be required if needed. It seems like a small update, but it really does make an impact when it comes to sharing forms that are really professional and also compliant. So now we're going to show you how you can add this new checkbox block and configure it to your use case.
So let's imagine you're launching a single page lead generation form and you need respondents to acknowledge your terms and conditions before they submit your form. When collecting personal information, it's always best practice to communicate with respondents on how their data will be handled once it's provided to you. With this checkbox, which we'll add in a moment, you can make that a quick and painless step. No legalese buried in the fine print, just a simple opt-in that keeps you compliant and transparent. So let's see what that looks like. Now here in this form, it's just a simple contact information form for lead generation. You have a field for your full name, your phone number, and your email address. But like I mentioned, let's add in a checkbox. So it's added to the multi-question page. We can drag it down to the bottom. And since this is going to be consent for privacy policy, we can add in text there so that clearly when the respondent has arrived on this page, they can see that they're entering in their contact information, and at the bottom, they're agreeing to privacy policy's terms and conditions. Now, you also would probably want your respondents to be able to see what the terms and conditions are that they're agreeing to, which is possible because we have our hyperlinking functionality that's available in all the rest of our blocks, available, of course, for the checkbox. So you can add in any site here, and it will be hyperlinked just like that. And just in a couple quick painless steps, you can see that we now have a nice, neat, single page lead generation form with the privacy policy opt-in here at the bottom. Now, this is available in the platform today to all of our users. So please jump in, give it a try, and let us know your thoughts. Thanks so much.
This next set of updates are intended to help you capture even more responses because you work really hard to get people to fill out your forms. But what happens when someone drops off before they submit it? That's where partial submit points come in. And now customers can capture even more data if someone doesn't complete the form. Now you can set up to 3 checkpoints throughout the form to collect the progress along the way. This is going to pair perfectly with question types like the multi-question page that we just showed you. This is just going to ensure that every insight goes captured. This is ideal for those longer forms, lead capture forms, and really any high intent workflow. Now we're going to show you how you can place these partial submit points as you're building and give you a peek at what this looks like behind the scenes.
Hey there, I'm Victor. I'm a product manager here at Typeform. You may have already used a feature called partial responses. If a respondent abandons completing a form, you'll still get answers to questions provided that the respondent at least passed the partial submit point. In this latest feature, you now have up to 3 partial submit points, PSPs, per form, allowing you even more flexibility in capturing critical data. Now, in this example on the screen, a chemical supplier has a lead gen form for customers to express interest in buying sodium bicarbonate. I already have a PSP positioned after the first question, which captures email data. The email address is critical for me to reach back out to potential customers who may not have completed the entire form. But it's also important for me to understand how much of the chemical they need on a monthly basis and who they are in turn selling to. So I'm going to put a second PSP after these, the second and third question. So I'm going to click on here, click add content, partial submit point, and now you can see it positioned here. In the rest of the form, I'm asking for a name and phone number, which are less critical. So even if a lead abandons the form, that's okay. I'll go ahead and click publish now. Now, before starting a new submission, let's look at our existing responses here. So there's 3 of them. I'm going to go back to my form here. Now I'm going to hit refresh so I can start off with a new response. I'm going to go ahead and submit that, hit OK, and there we go. So now I've submitted my first question. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the responses table here and hit refresh. And you can see now we have a partial submission, so called a partial response. So that's, what we expect. That's great. That's what we had previously. If you look back at this form here, that we essentially passed this point. Now let's continue the form submission. So I'm going to click this one and this one, and I hit OK there. Now go back to responses table, refresh, and you see actually nothing's changed. Well, why did that happen? Why shouldn't I be collecting more answers? Well, if you look at the form, the second partial submit point doesn't happen until after this question, and I'm just at this, or I've just submitted this question. Let's go here, and then now, who are you selling to? And I'm going to click, say these 3, hit OK, and now I go back to my responses, and indeed now I see these 2 additional answers. And note that it's still a partial response as expected. And then finally, I'm going to put these 2 final answers here, like so. Hit submit, that's not required. Hit refresh, and now it is indeed a completed full response. A few things to note. Previously, with 1 PSP, you would be counted 1 response unit as per your monthly limit, and you wouldn't be counted further upon full submission. With 3 PSPs, that's essentially the same. Once a respondent passes the first PSP, you'll be counted, but afterward, for subsequent PSPs and the full submission, you will not be counted. You'll see partial responses in your form exports, responses API, messages, which were previously called follow-ups, and webhooks. This is the same behavior as before when you only had 1 PSP. Finally, partial responses now also are sent to connected integrations. We're really excited about that. Try out the feature and let us know how it works for you. Thanks for watching.
Next, we have upgraded video questions with editable captions, so you can now customize those captions that are auto-generated, and you can add on-screen text. So this is a way that you can highlight any key points and improve accessibility even when the sound is off on those videos. These upgrades are going to help you make your videos more engaging and digestible. It creates more inclusive experiences, and it just helps to add context and clarity to your videos. Let's take a look.
Hi there, I'm Mao, Product Manager at Typeform. Today, I want to show you some exciting updates to our video capabilities. and as a coffee lover, I'll be using a coffee brand. So let's imagine a company called Rose and Green, a coffee retailer running a contest to give away a 250 grams pack of their coffee of the month every month for an entire year. To enter, participants have to complete a video form and show off their best coffee recipe using their favorite Rose and Green beans. I've already set up a video form for this, but let's take it a step further using some of our latest video features in Typeform. First up, since we want people to show their recipes, not write them, we'll disable text answers and only allow video answers here. Easy, that's it. Next, let's check the automatically generated captions. Want to win a year's supply of amazing coffee from Rose and Green? We are giving away a 250 grams pack of our coffee of the month every month for an entire year. To enter, just record a short video showing how you prepare your coffee using your favorite Rose and Green beans and submit it through. Most of them look great, but the brand wasn't picked up correctly. Perfect time to demo our new captions editor. We just open the video question settings and head to the captions tab, and here we can edit them directly. Let's find the name of our brand. Instead of Rose and Green, it should be Rose and Green. And let's find also the second place where our brand name appears. And that's it. Our captions are ready to go. Let's double check. Hey there! Want to win a year's supply of amazing coffee from Rose and Green? We are giving away a 250 grams pack of our coffee of the month every month for an entire year. To enter, just record a short video showing how you prepare your coffee using your favorite Rose and Green beans. Alright, looks good. One last thing to boost engagement. Let's add a catchy title to our video question. Something to draw people in. A little clickbait never hurts, right? Great. Show us your real barista and win a year of the best coffee delivered straight to your door. Perfect. Let's see how it looks in mobile. Exactly what we need. Time to publish. And we are ready. Our video form is live and ready to collect some amazing coffee recipes from around the world. That's it for now. Thanks for watching and happy brewing.
Now let's shift gears and talk about what happens after a form is submitted, because getting responses is so important and it's so great, but what happens after is equally, if not even more important. With our new workflow builder, you can manage branching logic, integrations, follow-ups, webhooks, URL parameters. I'm running out of breath because there's so many things that you can do from this one clean, centralized workspace. This is a major upgrade to how teams are going to orchestrate their next steps and automate action. So whether you want to route leads to your CRM, or you want to send a personalized follow-up email, or just internally trigger an alert to your team, you can now build that logic and all of those follow-ups in minutes without having to switch between several tabs.
Hi everyone, this is Joyce, a product designer at Typeform. Today I'm super excited to walk you through something we've been working on, the workflow builder. It's a brand new way to customize how your form works and to set up automated actions, all in one simple visual flow. In a way, you could call it your journey builder. You'll find your workflow builder under the workflow tab right here. So with this builder, you can pull data into your form with URL parameters. You can set logic within your form to customize the experience for your respondents. And you can set up actions that get triggered after someone completes your form. All of this happens in one centralized place. There's no more digging through settings or jumping between the tabs. It's all there, laid out clearly, so you can build smarter workflows without the headache. We designed it to help you easily visualize the full journey, from where respondents come from, to how they interact with your form, to what actions get triggered afterwards. That could be sending a tailored email, notifying your team on Slack, or even sending the data to your CRM of choice or any other tool you may be using. So why did we build this? Honestly, we did notice a few pain points. There were a lot of powerful features that were buried or scattered across the product. It was pretty tricky to set up end-to-end flows without cobbling things together. And most importantly, we heard from users that setting up a form isn't just about the form. It's about the whole journey from the entry point to what happens after they complete it. So we wanted to make that whole journey easier to see, easier to manage, and a lot more powerful. So the goal was straightforward for us: simplify, centralize, and empower. And we think the Workflow Builder does just that. So I'll walk you through an example right here. So let's imagine I'm a company called Glow & Co, and I'm about to launch a lead gen campaign. In my basic form, at the end, I have two endings, one for high quality leads and one for all other type of leads. So what I want to do here is I want to prioritize contacting my high quality leads, and I want to let my sales rep know who they are. So if I go to my workflow right here, the first thing I did, and I've already set this up for the sake of time. So what I did here is that I've turned on, for example, sorry, wrong one. I turned on the source and the campaign. So I'll be able to tell the source of the users, so where they're coming from and what campaign this is part of. And as you can see, I've also added logic here to say that, okay, if they answered a certain way or if they have a certain profile, then they're high quality leads. And in the same vein, what I did is I set up a message here for that sales rep so that they get notified every time a high quality lead completes this form. So they're able to react and contact them quickly. What I've also done here is that I have connected to my CRM. So in this case, it's MailChimp, so that all of the data collected will be sent to MailChimp directly. That also includes what campaign this is part of and where the user comes from. So all of this data will be sent to my CRM, so I'm able to tell where that list of contacts is coming from. So as you can see, this is a bird's eye view map that encompasses an all-in-one control. You can easily set up an end-to-end journey to your workflow. I use the marketer use case here, but it also works for recruiters, support teams, and many more use cases. So we can't wait for you to try this and let us know what you think.
Next up, email trust, a very important topic. We now have a custom email domain feature. This means that you can send follow-up messages from your own business Gmail domain. This is super important for boosting deliverability and creating some strong brand recognition. It's a really simple way to make sure that outreach actually lands in inboxes. And again, you're going to be reflecting your brand at every step of the way. So from form to email. Let's walk through how to set up this Gmail domain connection.
Hi there, this is Ruben, product manager for the Create team at Typeform. At Typeform, we aspire to create intuitive form building experiences so that you can build easy and intuitive forms that match your brand when you communicate with your customers. And we are aware that follow-up communication through emails to your respondents or notifications to yourself or your collaborators is a key part of that communication. Currently, when you're sending these email communications to your respondents or collaborators, you will need to send this through a generic Typeform domain, or you will need to integrate a third-party tool. And we are aware that this process can be improved. So right now, we will give you the possibility to match your custom email domain when you're sending these communications to your respondents or collaborators using a Gmail authentication. And I will show you how you can do that in the platform. When you're in the builder and you've set up your form, you will navigate to the workflow tab, where then you can add a new message under messages. We'll have to set up a trigger, which in this case can be a full response. And then you will navigate to create an action. In this case, we'll set up an email to a respondent, but the process will work the same for an email notification. When you select send an email to a respondent, you will now see a manage from email button. When you click this button, you will be able to see the possibility to authorize a new account with Gmail. If you would like to connect with a different provider, We will currently not provide these capabilities, but please let us know by filling out the form that is linked here. So you will add your account. You have the Gmail login pop-up, which in this case, I will connect my ruben@typeform.com email, and I will continue. I will need to select the checkbox that I allow Typeform to send emails on my behalf and continue. Now I see that my email has been successfully connected. When selecting done, under the from setting, I will now be able to change from the generic Typeform email towards my own custom email. When I select continue, I will be able to customize the email content. In case I do not have a verified Typeform account and I'm not able to customize the email content, by sending email communications from my own domain, I will be able to automatically do this and I will not have to verify my account. Now, when I select save, my email communication has been set up. And for any future email automations that I would like to set up, whether it's a respond notification or a notification to myself, I will already be able to select my own email domain. If I would like to make any changes towards the email domain, I will be able to do that either from the follow-ups manager or from the admin settings. Now, by using your own email domain from inside of the platform, you'll be able to have email communications to your audience, which will create a higher trust in your brand, that will increase the open rates of your emails, and that will eventually improve the engagement with your audience. Please go and try out the feature and let us know any feedback that you have. Thanks a lot for your attention.
And that was a little drum roll, if you couldn't tell. While we're on the topic of follow-up emails, here's a quick look at something that we're cooking up, an all-new email builder. Soon you're going to be able to design beautiful on-brand emails right inside Typeform. You're going to be able to add logos, adjust styles, include buttons and links, all in one tool. Again, all in Typeform. So you're not going to need to jump over to an outside email platform to send those branded follow-ups. Data isn't valuable until it's actionable. This release also includes new and upgraded integrations to help you close that loop faster. First, we've upgraded the Aircall integration. So now when someone enters their phone number in Typeform, a callback request is instantly going to be triggered in Aircall. Plus, all of their responses are going to be synced to your system so that your team has the context they need to follow up really fast. Here's a look at the new and improved integration in action.
Hi, my name is Elsa Heffernan. I'm one of the product managers at Typeform, and I'm here to talk to you today about our relaunched integration with Aircall. This should help our customers connect their form responses to the Aircall power dialer, which will let your agents contact your customers right away directly from their power dialer. So I've created a sample form for a company that does coffee subscriptions for offices. Some of the information I'm collecting here are how many people in the office, how frequent they want deliveries, and who the office manager is for contact. Once you've got your form ready and you've published it, you'll find the new integration in the Connect panel. As I said, this is a relaunch. The original version will be going away soon, and the V2 will become the only integration available for Aircall. This is authenticated here. You just have to make sure you're logged into Aircall and connect to your phone number. Then you can move through connecting to a specific user. This is the one that's associated with my power dialer, and you can do some mappings here. In your mappings, you'll want to make sure that you definitely include a phone number, as that's what's important for the power dialer, but you can also connect the name and information so the agent knows who they're talking to. And there's also a field for information in the power dialer. In this case, I want the agent to know how often the user would like to receive their coffee. Once you've got all of the desired fields mapped, you can finish. So let's quickly fill the form and see what it looks like. And once you submit, you can check to see what the phone number looks like in the power dialer. So I'm in my power dialer now, and I have 16 numbers on my list. The last one is the one that I just filled in there. So I can make that phone call right away.
And finally, just in time for your next big campaign push, we're rolling out a brand new Shopify integration. This lets you sync Typeform responses to Shopify so that you can collect order forms and funnel that directly into your Shopify orders page to be reviewed and fulfilled. If you're prepping for any big holiday push later this year, this is a must-have. This pairs perfectly with a product recommendation survey, and if you do that, you've got a full conversion engine that's going to learn from your audience. It's really the perfect time to get ahead of all of your 2025 marketing planning and turn this first-party data that you get from Typeform into actual revenue for your business. Let's take a look at how this integration works.
Hi, I'm Elsa, and I'm one of the product managers at Typeform, and I'm here to talk to you today about our new Shopify integration. This integration was actually chosen by our community. We asked everyone to vote on what should be our next integration, and one that creates orders in a Shopify store is what everyone decided to do. I want to show you first the form that I've made for my store, Squints Eyewear. This form is meant to collect pre-orders on a new collaboration that we have for this pair of glasses. As you can see, I'm collecting billing contact and shipping contact information, and critical to the Shopify integration in any Shopify order is some of the data that I've added to our URL parameters here. So that includes variant, SKU, and quantity. You can also indicate these through questions in the form, but since this is a pre-order and it's one product, this was a really great way to show this use case. So once I've got this form ready, I published, and I'm going to the Connect panel to find the integration. I now connect, and I've authenticated with my Shopify store here. You just have to put your domain, and you have the chance to map all of the fields that you've indicated in your form. So now you can map all of the parts of your form to the Shopify order. Make sure to map variant, SKU, and quantity. So variant matches with product ID, SKU with SKU, and quantity with quantity. And also billing is required. So once you've got that, you can finish. And let's test the form. So here's my form to collect for the pre-order. Now I filled my form. So let's check our Shopify orders. So as you can see, we have two quantities of the Brutal number 6 order in the Shopify account, and the billing address is here. And we would contact Pam once again for her payment information. So yeah, that is our new Shopify integration. We hope that you like it, and we hope that you vote on our next integration in our community. Thanks.
And finally, I feel like I need another drum roll. We have another sneak peek at a major new integration that's coming soon. Create with Salesforce. This is going to let you build Typeforms that sync directly to Salesforce so that you can instantly capture leads, update contacts, and personalize outreach based on data collection. Let's check out what's ahead for this new Salesforce integration.
Soon, users will be able to create forms with their Salesforce CRM in mind. We already have this for HubSpot, and you'll see that here, and Salesforce is the next one coming. Once you decide to integrate your form, you will have to go speak with your Salesforce admin and get the custom URL, client ID, and client secret. You'll only have to do this the first time that you connect the account, and you won't have to do it after that. You'll be able to access your connection at any time, but of course you won't want to disconnect unless you want to break the connection with Salesforce. The next important thing you have to do, which is important to the connection with Salesforce as well, is select your object for your Salesforce org. Here we're using leads, but we can also connect with most other objects in Salesforce. Opportunities, accounts, anything like that. And you'll want to have that decided well before you start your form. Once you've chosen your object, you can then find all of the fields that are associated with that object in this create wall, and you can add them to your form. So as you see, I just added a first name question, which will map directly to my Salesforce field short first name for my lead. Once I send this form to someone to respond, their first name or anything else I add to the form will be in my Salesforce lead right away. There's real-time updates with this new integration after the user publishes the form. So we are still working on this and we're really excited about it. We hope you are as well. And yeah, stay tuned. Thanks.
All right, we have reached the end. Everything that we've shown you today is designed to help you engage with more efficiency, act more confidently, and grow with Typeform. From smarter building blocks and clear video tools to centralized workflows and deeper integrations, these aren't just form features. Again, they're building blocks for better branded interactions and more impactful digital journeys, and we are so excited to deliver them to you. Now we are going to open it up to our live Q&A that's going to be moderated by our customer marketing manager, Grace. So if you haven't done so already, please drop your questions into that Q&A Zoom panel, and we're going to bring up our product managers up to answer all of those questions live. Thanks so much, everybody. Handing it off to Grace.
Awesome. Thank you so much to Kenzie. And I'm going to invite all of our lovely product managers that are lurking backstage to come and join me. Hello, team. Lovely to see you all here. Thank you so much. That was a lot, right? There was so much going on. There's so much new stuff in the product. It's awesome to see. And I know we've had loads of great questions coming through. So do keep them coming. We've got a little bit of time now to answer all of them. So make sure that you pop them in the Q&A and we will try and get to them all. If we don't get to them all, we will definitely follow up in the Typeform community. So you can always revisit and we will make sure we get those questions answered. So let's get started. Elsa, I can see you're typing an answer. Do you want to answer it live? The one from Adam, are these new features compatible with the Salesforce integration?
Sure. So that was sort of spoiled within the event, I think, because we showed you a lot of the new features that we have in the builder, and then we showed you our upcoming Salesforce integration. So we're in the midst of building that right now, and a lot of the features will be compatible once we release the new one. The old one is under security review right now, and so we're sort of like in the middle of building that, but we're planning to continue to invest in that integration once it's live and available, and new features available in the product will continue to be offered there as well. So we're really excited for you to try it, and definitely reach out to me if you'd like to get a sneak peek.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you, Elsa. Hopefully that answers your question, Adam. Steve Groom is asking, does Workflow Builder work with MS Graph API?
Yeah, so actually you can take this one. I'm chatting with one of our tech leads and he's providing an answer. So wait 5 minutes and we will answer.
Perfect. We'll circle back to that one, Paul. One question, do we have a Kit integration that doesn't require using Zapier coming up? So what was ConvertKit that's now Kit?
We don't have one in our roadmap right now, but I'd really like you to go to that community link that I shared in the chat and ask for it so that we put it on our backlog and make sure that we're accounting for the requests that we're getting. As you can probably tell, we're getting a little bit faster at building integration, so we really want to know what you're looking for. So definitely reach out.
Awesome. That link was dropped into the chat if anybody wants to go in and vote. Oh, and Question about custom email. Will custom email fully support SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and BMI?
That's a very good question. I will have to go to our security experts and get back to you on that. So we'll follow up in the community post regarding that. But thank you for raising that.
Perfect. Great. Love it, Steve. Watch
Grace,
this. Yeah.
sorry for interrupting, but yeah, Nico answered the question from Steve, and the answer is that yes, you can make the workflow triggered from Typeform to work with Microsoft Graph API. You need to use Power Automate, which is the Microsoft version of Zapier. So there's a trigger when a Typeform is submitted. So the answer is yes.
Perfect. Great. And maybe we can talk a bit more about that in the community as well after this too, just in case. Let's have a look. Is Shopify the only way to set up a store? If we have this portal on our website, can we use that with Typeform? Maybe that. Oh, go on, Elsa.
I think that there's a lot of different e-commerce platforms. Shopify is a really popular one that we have, but Typeform can be embedded in all sorts of different website builders. You can check the share page to see where you can share a Typeform. And then there are companies running businesses on Typeform using our payment integration, but this Shopify one actually creates an order. I don't think that we have any others that create an order in e-commerce platforms, but again, you should request it if you want it.
Love it. Maybe we could share some knowledge here. So how can a service-based company integrate these tools? For example, I get leads from Groover, a music feedback company, and I'd like to convert those leads into sales for service packages. Anyone feel up for this, or should we maybe take it to the community? Maybe we'll take it to the community. I feel like this is like a full-on conversation that maybe is a bit longer than the chat time that we have. So we'll definitely follow up in the community post about that one. Rod is asking about deleting the asterisks on mandated questions.
Yeah, I think I can take that one.
Go.
It is something, and I'm not sure if it was you, Rod, but we do have some customers that have been asking after this on our community. So we are aware of this request. We are looking into it. So hopefully in the near future, we will have the ability to make that asterisk potentially optional. It isn't something that we would remove entirely, just because being able to communicate what is and is not required is definitely important to a lot of our users. But we also want to give our customers the flexibility to include or exclude certain elements of their forms, such as that asterisk. So definitely hear the frustration there. It's something that we will hopefully introduce in the future.
Love it. Thanks, Adam. Caitlin is asking, and I think this is for you, Mal, for video responses, will we be able to access the responses via the API to download the video?
Yeah, hello, Caitlin. Right now, it is not possible to download the video using the API. Right now, what you will get is the transcription for sure. But we are working to also offer that. So in this Q2, we hope to have that done, and you will be able to use the webhooks or API to get those responses and download directly your videos programmatically. So soon it's coming for sure.
Love it. Thank you, Mal. Adam is asking how the Salesforce integration is different from the one that exists today. Elsa, maybe you could kind of allude to that.
Yeah, so the one that exists today is built inside your Salesforce org, and it's been working really well for a lot of customers over the years, but we heard some feedback on it and decided to invest in improving it. The future one, which I showed the prototype earlier, happens inside Typeform, so you can actually authenticate when you create your Typeform, and all of your fields from your Salesforce object will populate while you're creating your form. So there's not really toggling back and forth, which can make the setup a lot easier. The biggest feature, however, is that there will be real-time data syncing between Typeform and Salesforce. At the moment, it's only every 5 minutes, which works for some people, but certainly doesn't work for every business. So that continuous syncing is really important, and that'll be released as well.
Love it. That's exciting news. Great. Paige is asking, will we be able to attach files in automated emails upgrade? I think, maybe that's to do with follow-ups?
I think it's for Ruben.
Maybe for the custom email, like what's coming next with being able to brand everything. Maybe that's what they're referring to.
Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, do you know, so when, in terms of the follow-up emails, Ruben, will you be able to attach a file to it?
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's something that we're looking into. It's not directly something that we're going to be releasing in the next month, but it's something that we're actively investigating. So short answer is at the moment no, but it is on our roadmap and we're looking into it when we'll be able to provide this. So you'll hear more from us related to that.
Excellent. Thank you, Ruben. We just got a couple more minutes. So Robin's saying, can we speak any more about upcoming payment block updates? Someone had an idea for coupon codes, which they liked. I don't know if there's any more information we can say at the moment, Adam, or
So payments and the updates that we are in the process of making right now is going to be a much larger topic during our release later this summer. I will say that currently, if you're familiar with our payment block, it's essentially just a single static transaction. We are looking to expand that beyond the current capabilities, bringing in a lot of additional flexibility for our payments users. I don't want to say things I shouldn't at this stage, but we are assessing any and all additional functionality when it comes to payments. So if you are interested in using the payment block in any way, shape, or form, please let us know your thoughts, feature requests, and please shout about them in the community, because we are currently assessing lots of updates for the payment block.
Brilliant. Yeah, I know there's already some conversations happening in the community. So do go and join the platform if you haven't already, so that you can make sure that your opinion is counted. Another request from Paige, is there any chance that Typeform will include live polls like Slido in the future? Anyone got any thoughts?
I think there's always a chance of these things being included. In fact, we work with other software companies that build using our open APIs sometimes. So there's a chance of that happening. I don't think that it's on our roadmap at the moment. And I could be wrong. Anyone can jump in at the moment. But these are always opportunities that can become available depending on what the market's sort of looking for. So.
Also, just to add to that, the community is a great it's a good space for sharing this feedback or this request, so that we can consider them for the future.
Definitely go and upvote the integrations on the post that Elsa shared. Mal, this is for you, I think. Can video responses be taken from mobile?
Yes, 100%. Video questions and video answers are fully available on mobile. And actually, even though we pay the same amount of dedication for both desktop and mobile, our approach is mobile first, to ensure that this is going to be the best experience for respondents, because we do know that mobile is probably how your respondents are going to consume your or answer your forms. So yes, 100%.
Brilliant. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up because we've only got a couple of minutes left, and we want everybody to come and join us in the next session, Tune Up Your Typeform, where we're going to be looking at 5 different forms and looking at how we can kind of make improvements on them. So we'd love you to join us for that. Thank you so much to the team here today and to everyone that has asked their questions. If we didn't get round to anything, we are going to follow up with it in the community, in the Typeform community. Ruben, I know that you want to follow up with your that email question as well. Did you want to do that now, or do you want to do that in the community?
Yeah, I think it's good to just give a quick side notice that it's not possible to send attachments, but with the new developments that we're doing around the email builder that you should be seeing relatively shortly in the product, it will be possible to redirect customers in your email, which now you can also do with integrating a link. And if you would have your attachment gated on a website, for example, that's how you would be able to make sure that only the people that receive your email are able to get this attachment. So even though you're not able to directly send the attachment, there's a workaround here how you would still be able to send attachments to your respondent. So I hope that maybe gives a little bit of an idea of how you could work around that for your use case.
Brilliant. Love it. Thank you, Ruben. Right, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you all so much. Don't forget, we have been recording this session, so we are going to be sharing that with you all tomorrow via email and also in the community post, and we will follow up with any unanswered questions. Go and vote for the integrations that you want. Grab yourself a drink and then come and join us in the next session. Come and watch us tune up some Typeforms. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and I will see you in like 3 minutes in the next one. Bye, everyone.